Alrighty, welcome to the stream. Before we get started, I will just give you a brief rundown of what we're going to be going through today. Wait for more people to jump in the stream, and then we will begin. I'll give my little intro and we'll jump into today's content, which is going to be about making a museum game using one of Gamefroot's tutorial template games. And this is a pretty cool way of getting to grips with adding your own content to a game. So before we start, I'll just go in and show you. This is in Gamefroot, by the way, if you're new. That's gamefroot.com. And what we're going to be doing in here is creating an exhibit in a little museum game. Kind of a cool little project. So I'll give you a brief preview before we jump into it. You want to get on Gamefroot, get signed in, or you can sign in with Google. We can make an account, and then you want to choose Museum Maker from the tutorial games that we have on the dashboard. Museum Maker, and this is one of Gamefroot's tutorials that shows you how to go through and build an exhibit game, and it's kind of like a side-on platformer game. And in there, we have a pre-built game, but it ends abruptly, so you have to continue building it out. So you can add rooms and you can add exhibit pieces. In today's example museum, we're going to add exhibits based on retro games. So that should be fun. So we'll go through and add stuff like Mario Bros, Monkey Island, Original Doom, Wolfenstein. We'll add some pictures in there and some little descriptions, and it can be a handy tool for teachers that want to propose, design, and develop an interactive product like a game. So how many people we got in the stream? We got a couple. That's pretty good. We might just wait a couple more minutes and then we'll jump into it. And if you're new, by the way, that is gamefroot.com, gamefroot.com, and we are going to be making a little museum game. Some cool stuff in here already. And we'll be going through and adding in our own content. Maybe you've even got art that you've drawn yourself that you want to put in an exhibit. That would be pretty cool. So what kind of things does an exhibit usually have in a museum? You've got the exhibit pieces like art, and then you have some information usually next to them. So we've got these object labels that you can use as well, and inside them you can type some information, and they will work from the get-go when you click on them. So it looks like people are jumping in the stream. That's pretty good. And then if you walk up to those, it can tell you a little bit about the exhibit piece. So that's handy. So that's a brief rundown of what we're going through. What I'll do is do my little intro and then we might get started. So if you are new, remember that's gamefroot.com. Alright. Welcome to Gamefruit's Code Talk, a live digital technology stream on how to code real video games powered by real game developers. I'm Dave and I'm your host. Today we're going to be making a interactive museum exhibit game. It's going to have art pieces in it and it's going to have some descriptions of them, and we're going to talk a little bit about some of our level design in building our museum layout. It's going to be a digital exhibition. From a digital technologies perspective, we'll be covering these concepts from the New Zealand curriculum. How to propose, design, and develop an interactive museum game. We'll propose an outcome, that'll be our idea about our exhibit. We'll design an outcome, that'll be the concept. We'll make an outcome, that'll be the created outcome, and then we will publish it. From a design thinking perspective, that goes into creating an exhibit comes from the amazing exhibition designers from Te Papa. So let's get into it. Alright, so I'll log in to Gamefroot. And remember, you can use Google if you want. And when you get logged in, you want to go to, under tutorial games, you want Museum Maker. Down the bottom there, Museum Maker. Okay, now the tutorial will pop up and it'll give a brief description. We'll build our own museum exhibition. So let's go. And that'll load the game in. Now, in the example that I'm going to do, the big idea for our museum that we're going to make will be about retro video games. We're going to make an exhibition about video games by the decade. So, first thing we need to do is test out our game. If we click play up here, we can give that a little preview. And we can walk around using the arrow keys. And this is our game. And then it abruptly ends. So what we need to do is go and build out some of the rooms in our museum. Okay, next step. Oh, we should save our game as well. Very important. So we can go File, Save Game. I'm going to call that Museum Maker for Stream. You can call your museum whatever you want. Okay, so that is what the beginning of the game looks like. Now we need to come up with our big idea. So like I said, the big idea in my example is going to be retro games. And we want to right click on our big idea here and edit the object behavior. And we've got a name and a description. So my name here is going to be retro video games. And the description is going to be an exhibition about video games by the decade. Okay, so that is the big idea. Now, now that we've got that written out, we can have a look at the next step, and that is about content. So, what kind of images do we want to have in our exhibit? I am going to go find images of box art for some retro video games, and I'm going to upload them into Gamefroot. So first, I will go and find some box art for what do I want? Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers, the original, right? That's what we want. Mario Bros. There we go. That's pretty cool. So let's save that. What else do I want? I want Quest for Glory. Quest for Glory. Oh, that looks great. Let's get that. Save that one as well. And these are saving into my downloads folder, so that's good. What do we want next? Next we want Mission Impossible C64. Mission Impossible C64 classic games. Mission Impossible. There we go. It's a good looking cover. Save that image. Let's call that Mission Impossible. What else do we want? Monkey Island. Classic. Monkey Island. We want the retro one. Monkey Island. The Secret of Monkey Island. That's what we want. There it is. Let's save that. What else do we need? Wolfenstein. Oop. Wolfenstein. Well, we want the original, don't we? That'll be it. Castle Wolfenstein. 1981. Wow. There we go. Let's save that. And finally, we want Doom. Doom. Let's get Doom. The very first one. Oh yes, great. Okay. Alright, very good. Now we've got our example images. For your exhibit, you might want to use different images. So let's jump back into Gamefroot. Now that we've downloaded all of those images, we want to go and put them into our game. So we'll go to our sidebar over here, our media sidebar, and then we want to go and click upload media, that blue button there, upload media. We can go add files, and we can find from our downloads, we can find all of those images, and there we go, they're uploading. Alright, so we've got all those in our game. Now, we need to think about where we want to put them. So, we've got Monkey Island, Mission Impossible, Quest for Glory, Mario Bros, Castle Wolfenstein, and Doom. Let's do Mario Bros first. So we're going to have a Mario Bros. There we go. Now, we want to put that in our Your Art layer. We want to go put that there. No problem, Holly, no problem. What kind of exhibit do you want to make for your game there, Holly? Mine's about retro video games. So in my Your Art layer, I've got my Mario Bros. I'm going to put it about here. Now I need to draw some more tiles here. But first, let's move on to the next step. So we uploaded our content. Now we need to think about our sections. So I've kind of thought I want this first room to be about Super Mario Bros. Oh, that's cool. You guys are using Gamefroot for school. Very cool, very cool. So this first room I want to be about Super Mario Bros. So we want to go and look at number 3, sections. So let's right click on that one. Sections, and we can describe our sections. So this could say something like we'll explore retro video games from, was it Mario Bros? Mario Bros. To Doom. From Mario Bros. through to Doom. Well, we got heaps of people jumping in the YouTube chat. That's pretty cool. So by the way, if you didn't catch it, you want to be at gamefroot.com and you want to go on the dashboard. You want to pick Museum Maker. Oh, you have to make a game that teaches people about your hobby. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. What hobby are you going to choose? Mine's video games here, as you can see. So let's play this now, see what it looks like. And if I click on the sections, I can see a little description about my game, and then if I click on big idea, there's a description there as well. So you can do your writing for your project in there. That's basically where all your ideas should go. And then out in this area, we want to have our actual exhibit, whether it's about your hobby, your friends, or whatever you've chosen, maybe some kind of art. Now, I ran into that image there and it gets pushed away. So we want to deal with that. I think we might do that in the next step. In our next step, we actually want to draw out some of our rooms in our tiles. We want to think about the exhibition flow and how you'll move through the rooms in your game. So I might zoom out a little bit here. We've got the plus and minus button there, and that's where I start. I want to have a fairly big room for Mario Bros here. So I'm going to go and find tiles because I want to draw some of these tiles for walls and floors. So there we go. There's a tile there. There are a bunch of other colors you could use as well. If I click on tile map and draw some tiles in, I can move my view by dragging on that blue rectangle there. I've got a room for Mario Bros. Maybe I'll make it a little bit bigger using that eraser there to delete tiles. Might have some stairs going down a bit like that, and that'll be my first room about Super Mario Bros. Now I can resize the images by clicking and dragging on the corner there. I can move them around with that selection tool. Oh, you're doing yours about, oh, you're the 100th subscriber. Awesome. Now that we have 100 subscribers, we can name our channel properly, make a shorter link. That's very cool. And your hobby's music, charities. Okay, cool. Well, those should be some interesting games. So when they walk in here, I want to have a little description about Super Mario Bros. But that's my first room. I'm going to make a little doorway so my character can move through to the next room. And let's draw that out now. Quest for Glory, what one's that? Quest for Glory, okay, pretty big. Now if I try to put it in the tile map, it gets squished into a little tile there. I can delete that. I don't want that squished. I'm going to put it on my Your Art layer there. Select that and then put Quest for Glory in by clicking. And this one's a really big one, so I need to resize it. Drag on it like that. And then I'll put that about there. Okay. Now, we want to, now that we've resized it, placed it in, we need to now go and add scripts to these. So if we play our game now, we walk up to those. We will see, that's using the arrow keys, we'll see that we just push them around. We don't want that happening. We don't want them to be like solid objects. So there's a script that we can attach to them. If we go over to the code sidebar there and find content, a script called content. Content, there it is. We can click on that and then click on the image, and it will give that content script there, which if we right click on it and go edit object behavior, we can actually click on it to zoom. So we could turn that on or off, true or false. Maybe I'll make that one true. Then we can play the game, see how that looks. Okay. And if I click on it, it'll zoom in on it. So that's pretty cool. Next, I should probably add some descriptions in my artwork. Okay, we will do that. Yes, and we will save our game as well. That's always a good idea. File, save, game. Okay. Now that we have saved, let's move on to the next step. And we want to have an introduction label for our exhibit. Something that gives a little bit of information about what we're showing off in this game. So if we scroll up to media and find, we want this big label here, and section labels, this one right here with the 3 columns of text. If we put that in our game and then right click on it and edit object behavior, we can see our description for our exhibit. So this one, what should I call this? Well, let's do the name first. Name of the exhibit. I'll call this Retro Video Games, and the description will be explore video games from the 80s. The 80s and 90s, I believe. Doom would have been 90s. Cool. Now if we play that just to see what that little description looks like. Thanks, Joy. What kind of a game do you want to make? We go retro video games. Cool. So it pops up in our game. So that's a real easy way for when people play your game, they can go and get more information about what you're putting in your exhibit. All right. Now, Doom for DOS was 1993, yeah. So that, I think that'll be the latest game, or the very last one in my list. Okay, so now that we've got our little intro label done, we want to label our sections, and that's in step 8. So the section labels, what do we have here? That one will do nicely. I'll put that there next to Mario Bros. And this is going to be a little description about Super Mario Bros. Now, if I go and just look up Mario Bros. To find some information. Now, in your game, you should probably do a little bit of research, a little bit of writing about the thing that your exhibition is about. But I'm just going to copy paste from Wikipedia, which is a big no-no, but you know, I'm just doing it to make it real quick for the stream so that I don't spend ages thinking about what I want to type. But you will have to think a bit more carefully about what you want to type. You can't just be copy pasting stuff. So let's right click on that description and edit the object behavior there. Description is going to be, when I paste it in there, Mario Bros. Is a platform game published and developed for arcades by Nintendo in 1983. Cool. And we'll call it Mario Bros. Okay, very good. Let's play that, make sure that works. Eva, thank you. That's nice of you to say. What kind of a game are you going to make there, Eva? And let's, okay, so that's the start part. That is my description, awesome. And then there's my exhibit there. So, bit of information, Mario Bros. Cool, so what I want to do now is fill out the rest of my level with rooms that I can draw with tiles, and then more of this art. Now, yours could be about whatever topic you've picked. I've picked retro video games. You might You might want to do it on your hobbies or your friends or your pets. Maybe you want to have pictures of your cat. That would be up to you and what you know about your project there. And maybe I could put more images of bits of the game in there as well. Maybe I'll do that. Mario Bros. Let's see if we've got something. Oh, there we go. We could use that, couldn't we? So I'll right click on that, save image, and then I will go back into Gamefroot and upload that. Upload media. Add files, there it is. Pop that in my game, and I might give that a little bit of info saying this is what the game looks like. Might make it a bit bigger as well. And then remember, when you add these images in, you have to go to your code sidebar and give them that script. What do we want? The content script. Content. Okay, let me save my game now. Always a good idea to keep saving. And then we can play the game, see how that looks. Cool. Very good. And then there's the gameplay there. Nice. Okay, then we've got Quest for Glory. So what does Quest for Glory need? Well, it needs another one of these section labels. So we can go find those from media. Section labels. Where are they? Here we go, section labels. That one, I might just move this a bit closer. So when you walk in the room, it'll say, if we right click on that, edit object behavior, this one's going to say, the name is going to be Quest for Glory. And Quest for Glory, let's look that up real quick. Grab some information about that. Remember, for your exhibit, you're going to be writing something that's not just copy-pasted from Wikipedia, but because I'm trying to do this quickly, I will do that. Okay. Cool. Quest for Glory. And then that'll lead you down to, this is kind of a small room. I might make it a bit bigger. If I go to my tile map, delete some of these tiles, and then I want to find my tiles there, and maybe expand out that room a bit more. Okay, that room should probably be about that big. Whoops. And then that'll go on to the next room. Okay, in this room, what do I want to put in there? What do we got? Mission Impossible. C64. Okay, Mission Impossible. That is right there, Mission Impossible. So put that on my art layer right there, your art. Mission Impossible. Remember, we've got to give it that script. From code, we want to give it that content script. And we also want to go to media and give it a section label. There we go, section label. That one there will say Mission Impossible. So I'll edit the object behavior on the label. Mission Impossible. And then we want Mission Impossible game. Mission Impossible. Which game was it? The earliest one. Games. There we go. 1990. Okay. Was this the same one? Must be. Oh, C64. That's what we want. Mission Impossible for C64. Okay, so we want, there we go. Mission Impossible. Let's grab that info there. Put that in the description. Okay, great. Should save our game again. Now we're making pretty good progress on our museum here. And there aren't too many more steps. So let's have a look at some of these next steps. Object labels. So we've put section labels in. What we could do is have aspects of the game or specific things that we want to highlight from our exhibit and give them specific labels. So in here I might say something like there are a lot of platforms that Mario has to jump up, which is why it's called a platformer game. So I might go find an object label there. That'll do. And then edit the object behavior for that. And what do we put in here? Let's call this platforms. In Mario Bros, Mario has to jump along platforms, hence the name platform game. Okay, let's play that. All right. And then we can see if we click on that label there, it'll actually give us more information, but we don't have to run over it. And you could use a little label like that for every individual object in a section. But I think there is a property on there. We could have activate on touch as well. If you set that to true, then you can just walk over those labels. That's a good point. That is Impossible Mission, not quite the same as Mission Impossible. I don't know why I grabbed that. That's the wrong image. So I might go update that. So there we go, Mario Bros. And then when I walk up to that label, it gives me some information. Okay, so you pretty much get the idea. You want to go and flesh these out, put as many images in here as possible, and make sure they're about the right thing. So I went and put Impossible Mission in there instead of Mission Impossible. So we'll go and find that Mission Impossible Commodore 64. Mission Impossible Commodore 64. Does it exist? I think it might be Impossible Mission. I think that's what we wanted, not Mission Impossible. Impossible Mission was the right game. Okay, good. So what are we going to do next? Let's have a look. Review. Good job making it this far. Have you enjoyed thinking like a curator? Let's take a look at what you've learned. You've come up with your own big idea. You've thought about the content that you'll be displaying. Yeah, I think it was Impossible Mission. He might have just typed it wrong in his description there, but that's okay. So yeah, you've thought about the content you want to go on display. You've done a bit of design thinking there. You've broken it up into different sections. Thinking about how people will move through the exhibition. You want to think about the content that goes in, and labels, different types of labels that are used in exhibitions. So media and game design, you've found some source material to upload to your images, and you have experience using a pro game making tool, and the curriculum contexts that we covered, writing a story and learning about museum work, corresponds with English and social studies. So it's up to you to continue building out your game. And if we look at the next steps, we can see there are some further customizations. You could change the background color in your game. If you go and find these color backgrounds, maybe Super Mario Bros. Will have a yellow background. So if I go put that in, expand that out, now see how it's covering everything up? We actually want to put it on a layer underneath everything, so that it doesn't do that. So we want to make another layer, put that behind everything, delete what we just put down, and then with that layer behind everything, see how it's underneath all of our other layers there? Then when we put it in, it will go behind all of our stuff. So that looks cool, a bit of a splash of color in there. Okay, and you could do that for your other rooms as well. And you could also change your player character if you wanted. So our player character is there in our player layer. If we go to characters and click on, maybe we want to use this character, put them in there, and then we can delete. If we right click on that character and delete them, let's save our game and then give it a little test run, see what it's like with a different character. Cool, looks pretty cool. And that is pretty much what you want to do to create your exhibit game. Okay, how about publishing? Well, to publish your game so that other people can go and play it, and if you've got it as an assignment, maybe you want to hand it in, you will definitely want to publish it so you can share the link to it. You want to click File and then Publish Online. And then you can give it a name and a summary. So mine's going to be an exhibition about retro video games. And then you can click Publish. And what that will do is put your game online on Gamefroot.com, and you'll get a link to it as well. And then you can go and share this game with anyone. Cool, there's our link. And if we click on that, that'll open our game. And anyone can go and do this and play your game, and they can learn about your big idea. They can learn about your the topic of your exhibition, and they can go through and they can see each of the things that you want to show off. So make sure you have a bit of a think of how you want to lay these out. They should have a good structure to them. And make sure you do add scripts to all of your images as well. I forgot to give that the content script, so that's important to do. That's from code content. Always good to test your games as you go and add more things in. But that's pretty much what you have to do to make this museum game. So I hope you learned something. And if anyone has any questions about Gamefroot, feel free to chuck them in the chat, and we'll see if there's anything we can help you out with. Otherwise, I'll probably just spend a couple more minutes fleshing out my game, and then we might wrap up the stream. you have to republish after changing it? Do you have to republish? Yes, yes you do. So I can go File, Unpublish Game, then go OK. Then I can save my game and click Publish again, and that will update my game with the changes that I've done. Now I still want to do some more changes, so I'm going to go and add some of those in. Impossible Mission. Let's find another good picture for that. Impossible Mission. Maybe we could just move on to what was going to be our next game. Maybe Monkey Island. That's a pretty cool game. Monkey Island. And I should probably finish up that room there. And if you wanted to expand it out, you could always do that later. I'm going to give it that script, the content script, and the section label. There we go. And what is this one going to say? Monkey Island. We can find a little description for that. Monkey Island. The first one, The Secret of Monkey Island. Let's get that in there. The Secret of Monkey Island. Nice. Okay. I think we will wrap that up there. So don't forget to save your game frequently, and then when you're happy with it, publish it. If you didn't catch all of the steps that we went through, that's fine. You can always just go to gamefroot.com, and then on the dashboard you will see Museum Maker, and that is what you want to go through. Museum Maker, and it has a pretty good thorough tutorial there that you can follow along. Alright, well thanks